it's Giselle, and we are going to be doing a Minnie Mouse tutorial today that includes both makeup and hair. This is my first ever YouTube hair tutorial, so I really hope that you enjoy it. I really wanted to try to discover a hairstyle that really had the mouse arch, like the really ear upright mini structure. If you want to skip over to hair, click this box right here, and if you're ready to do makeup, sit right where you are. Don't forget to subscribe. For the Minnie Mouse makeup part of the tutorial, I really wanted to focus in on the eyes and the lips, and we're pretty much only using neutral colors and golds and shimmers, so I went ahead and put on all of my Vice makeup first. I've got my foundation, my powder, bronzer, blush, a little bit of brow powder, concealer, highlighter, all that good stuff. I'm going to start off with my eyeshadow primer. This is Urban Decay's eyeshadow primer potion in Sin, and with this a little bit goes a long way. So since it's Halloween, I'm going to use a little more than a little bit. And I'm going to especially put this on my eyelids to get the most color and shimmer concentration there. And then I'm going to work my way out. Maybe even just a tiny little bit underneath. Just a little bit. Now I'm going to grab my Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. I'll be using the double-headed brush that came with it, as well as my favorite deluxe fluff brush from Nigel's. Sticking with the shimmer theme, I'm going to take the fluffy end of the Urban Decay brush and dip it in Shopper, and then I'm going to put that all over my eyelids. Now I'm taking Snakebite and my Nigel's brush, and I'm going to wedge it into my crease, move it inward, and then into the above crease for a little contour and definition. And I'm always blending as we go along. Back to my fluffy brush. First up, I'm using Half Baked for a little warmth and pizzazz. I'm just going to dust this right over the eyelid and right around the contour. And then we're going to take some Booty Call. Yeah, that's what the color is called, Booty Call. I'm going to finish off with a little highlight right inside the inner corners, underneath my brow bone, and a little along the outer edges, just to soften everything up. I'm going to add a little more Half Baked to the centers of my lids to make my eyes look a little wider, more open, and then I'm going to blend it all together. For liner, I'm using my Stila waterproof eyeliner marker. I'm going to line my eye as usual. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to create 2 reference points. I'm going to go about halfway between the end of my lash line and my brow. About there. And then using reference of one of these creases, go about here. And then from there, I'm just going to connect the dots and swoop it in to create the line. And then we're going to create a very fine line along the bottom lash line. When we get to the end, we're going to wing it downwards. And I'm going to use a very pointy Q-tip to help me clean up a little bit. Now I'm using these FrightNight Sorceress lashes. These lashes have a little bit of shape, but not too much. Now that I have the glue on the back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wiggle them back and forth, kind of like this in a smiley face motion. And what that'll do is it'll start to create a curvature as the glue is starting to dry a little bit, get a little bit more tacky, and then that way it'll hold this curvier shape and it'll be easier to lay flat on top of my eye when I'm ready. I'm just going to lay it. I'll just kind of adjust it as I go. That's the nice thing about waiting a little bit, is that at least it'll grab onto your eye a little bit, even if it's the wrong spot. That way you can just kind of push and adjust and pull around until it's in the right place. And I'm going to do my little eyelash smiley face happy dance. I really like these lashes even more than I thought. Although I definitely do feel like I have little spiders on my lashes, I tried to move these as close to my lash line as possible. And they're for sure going to need a little time to dry, so let's move on to lips. Now I have my matte powder. This is MAC's Studio Fix matte powder in C3. And with my sponge, I'm going to rub this all over my lips, as I've already started to do here. This is going to absorb moisture. It's going to create a clean start foundation so that the color really pops. And it's also going to help keep the color from bleeding. And the color that I'm using bleeds very easily, so this step is crucial. All gone. For lips, I'm using my brand new NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in Dragon Girl. I'm going to go ahead and put it all over my lips. I'm going to put a little bit of my Lancome Juicy Tube on top. And I just realized I totally skipped a step. Normally before I put my eyelashes on, I give my lashes a couple curls, a couple pumps. You can optionally do that if you decide to recreate this look. For mascara, I'm using Maybelline's Falsies Volume Express, and I'm just going to do what I always do, push and roll for ultimate length, volume, and color. And I'm going to carefully maneuver around these lashes. At the same time, I'm also really going to pulse upwards on my lashes to try to get the fake ones and the real ones to line up together. Bottom ones are equally as important. And here is the completed look for Minnie Mouse makeup. Now let's move on to some hair, shall we?